Hey everybody, Tim Bartz here, McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, live with you this week. Hope everything went well last week and you guys enjoyed the video. And this week we're going to have some live Q&A. Because I am here back live with you guys. So I had a great time, vacation, and I really actually I'm not a person that usually likes to enjoy driving much, but on this trip, I just got to look at the different vehicles on the road and such, see if I could spot any Mavericks on the road. And I did see a couple Mavericks while on the road, and a couple Broncos, and the Broncos just look so nice out in the wild and everything. And but also saw a bunch of Teslas, and I kind of made a joke that, did Tesla only make white in the Tesla Y version? Because it seemed like that's the only thing we saw on the Tesla Ys were white colors. And somebody told me it was because that was the only free color for many years, was the white. So that might be the reason. But again, thank you guys for joining me this week. We're going to have a lot of fun, I think. Talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of scheduling notes in here. Some information for you that I think you'll find very valuable and entertaining, hopefully. But I do want to welcome everybody into the chat, and as we get more and more people in here, of course, shout out to the members. I appreciate you guys for jumping in each week, and some of you, even once you've gotten have your Mavericks delivered, are still in here joining us, and I appreciate that. And of course, thanks to our moderator in there. So always I want to give a shout out to him. So Ridgeview, I thank you very much for what you do and helping out. Johnny's in here, so that's amazing. I think. At least according to the videos that I saw earlier tonight, you're on your road trip. So if that's unless you recorded those ahead of time, but so taking the time out to join me, I really appreciate it. So thank you everybody else who's taken the time out to join me. We don't have basketball in the way tonight, but if you are watching the basketball tournament, I'm not doing well in the bracket I mentioned last week yet, but I have more possible points that I can earn from here on out for the tournament. So go KU. So RockShock, Jayhawk, go KU here. So pulling for them. So if you guys didn't enter the tournament, you can cheer me on by going for cheering for KU there. I think if they make it to the Final Four, I might have a chance to win in the whole thing. So we'll just see. So anyway, also don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, though, and new to the live stream, hit that red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to the channel there. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that way you can get notified the next time of another video uploaded to the channel. We are recording this. I'm recording it as an audio video clip right now, but I will make it into a podcast in the audio format that you can find on Podbean. That's where I put it, but you can find it on any of your favorite podcast channels. If you don't have one, you can go to our website, lawmacarthur.com/fordvideoguy if you want to find the live stream there, and you can listen straight from that streaming platform there. We've surpassed 1,000 downloads of the podcast version, which is just amazing to me. We got there really fast, so we'll continue going that route. So hope you guys enjoy that. Recently we have, don't forget, email address is down there. If you have any questions, email those to fordvideoguy@gmail.com. If you have any sales related questions that need urgent, me to look at those more frequently, go to the timothybartz@gmail.com. I check that more frequently than I do the Ford Video Guy. Not too far behind on the Ford Video Guy, even being on vacation. So I will try to get those caught up. A few people, I noticed a lot of people had some questions that I need to address in there, but most of them are things that I addressed last week's video that I think I clarified a lot of questions there for people. Now, some of the videos that we have recently dropped, the 22 Ford Edge ST Line Complete Guide video. That one I went ahead and had to go live, I think, Saturday night. And then the 22 Explorer Timberline Complete Guide video, all the standard equipment as well as option equipment is what I call those videos. That went live Monday. So if you didn't get a chance, you want to watch that, you can see what's standard on each of those. Also, I talk about the different packages, the standalone options, accessories that you can get, that kind of thing in those videos. Those are actually the videos that kind of was more popular when I get started, so I do enjoy doing those videos. Take a little time to record those, about 2-3 hours on a Saturday afternoon, and then they usually take 2 or 3 or 4 days to edit those by Sarah. So she's doing a good job with those, and she was on the live stream last week. Hope you guys enjoyed her being in there and chatting with you. Didn't know if she was actually, she talked about it. I don't know if she'll be in there later tonight or not, but it was nice seeing her in there. Upcoming videos, I did record the 22 Mustang Mach-e Select Complete Guide video. That was real fun. I got a chance to spend the weekend with the vehicle, get to know a little bit, and then recorded the video on Monday morning. So that's a fun video. So we did get one of our stock units in that was able to do that video on. So we got that video that's coming soon. She's working on that. This week we'll be at the farm show, so I will be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Most of the time, there's a couple meetings I need to cut out for. But if you're going to be in the area, you want to go to the, I think it's the what's it called? Let me get the actual title. Mid America Farm Expo. It's at the Tony Event Center here in Salina. Pretty much from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're going to have a special. If you go to the show, we do have, come by the booth, say hi to me. Love to meet you and talk to you a little bit. We will have a Ford Maverick there. That used one that we took in trade hasn't sold yet. Probably because we haven't priced, but that's okay. We have it for the farm show. And also we'll have a 21 Ford Bronco Outer Banks there. That was one of our mannequin vehicles. We will have a used 21 Ford F-150. It's a 21 to kind of give people an example of, what they could order and starting price if they ordered one. And then we will have a 22 F-250 XL STX package. That one actually is a new one that our owner was driving for a little bit and jumped out of it so we could have it for the farm show there. So we'll have those vehicles there, but I'll be there as well. And if you're a member, you're going to see a couple live streams from me, or yeah, probably live streams. Why not? We'll just do some live streams from the farm show for our members as well. So if you're not a member, you might want to become a member. And we do have a link to the membership there and down in the description if you want to check that out. Also, Friday or Thursday, I'll go from the farm show, come back to the dealership. We'll do a Facebook Live Thursday night with you guys. Pretty much, I just like doing just live Q&A on that. Not a lot of information, not a lot of news update. It's just all Q&A right there. So there you go. All right, so let's get into the scheduling. Hold on, first of all. I'll take a drink. We got the hype sauce G Fuel tonight. Anyway. All right. So for scheduling, about every model line is going to be scheduling. In fact, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through in case you have an order with us, and not all of you do, and that's okay. But just kind of give you an idea of what we as a dealership allocations we have and such, why we go through this. So the Mustang is going to be scheduling this week. We do have 2 Mustang allocations, and I usually by Tuesday night I can see if there's any that are being previewed by Ford, which means they'll preview an order, and more than likely those are the ones that get pulled, not necessarily on Tuesday, but by Thursday definitely. If they're in there and they're showing us previewing, then they're more likely to get scheduled. So we do have 2, one stock, one retail, that could get scheduled, including the retail as a Mach 1, which is the only way we can order those. Mustang Mach-e is scheduling this week as well. We don't have any Mach-e, or do we? Yeah, there we go. We do have one Mach-e allocation. And let's see, I don't think we have any previewing though. Nope, we don't have any previewing of that. Bronco Sport is also going to be scheduled this week. We do have one Bronco Sport allocation. I looked at that one earlier. I think it's a Big Ben that's being previewed. Bronco is also scheduling this week, which I didn't think they were going to have. They mentioned it as being scheduled, but we get no allocations this month. So I'm not sure what the deal is up with that. So I don't know if there's going to be just some cleanup allocations being given out this or something, but we'll see. I didn't even look to see it because we didn't have any allocations. I didn't even look at the Bronco. Okay, now I'm getting an error. That's awesome. Okay, Escape is scheduling. It does say limited retail scheduling, so no stock allocations or no stock scheduling. We do have like 12 Escape allocations. I think 8 we're previewing, or 7. 7 we're previewing earlier. Edge is also scheduling. We have 2 Edge allocations, and I think we did have 2 that we're previewing. Both of those were retails for us. And I think those are the last 2. I think we only have 2 orders that are in right now. So anyway, Explorer, that we have 1 allocation there, and I think there was 1 previewing. Expedition, retail scheduling only. We have 7 allocations for Expedition. So By the way, my Expedition is supposed to be getting built this week, Thursday, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that goes pretty smoothly. They did, by the way, we're going to talk about this later, but they took the auto start stop off of my Expedition, so they are rolling that out. I mentioned that last week in the video that I gave you guys. There we go. So we have 5 that are previewing right now, all retails, of course, because they said only retail. Maverick is scheduling this week, and we do have 8 allocations left. Did not receive a lot this month. Not sure why, but I'll tell you this. Let's go ahead and, I know most of you are in here because of Maverick, so let's go ahead and go through this. We do have all 8. We have 8 previewing. All 8 of those are the hybrid. And I will go through some of these because I did look at these orders. There were every single one of these that were previewing had different trim levels, but all of them had the Copilot 360 package on them, and none of them had the luxury package on it. So if that tells you anything, because we have a couple from June, we have 1 from June, 2 from July, and then the rest of them are from September. And it looks like the reason is the ones from September got pulled up is because the rest that we have left that are June, July have the luxury package on them. And I believe that's why they didn't get scheduled and some of the Septembers got pulled up, is because they don't have the luxury package. They only have the Copilot 360 package. So it looks like right now, maybe this month they're trying to catch up on a bunch of those orders that do not have the luxury package, and that's why we were only allocated for a small amount. So they always based allocations on what you've earned, and so they looked at our early orders to see what we've earned, and of those early orders, we only had like 8 or 9 that earned us allocations, because it looks like they're not wanting to pull any of the luxury packages at this present time. So there you go. So, oh, Sarah's in the room. So anyway, so there we go. So happy to have her join us there. Okay, Rangers also going to be scheduling this month, or this week, I should say, and we have 2 allocations for Ranger, I believe, and we have 2 previewing. Both of those are retail units. Super Duty, or F-150, didn't want to skip that one. F-150 is supposed to be scheduling, which is a good news because we were told that there wasn't going to be any F-150 allocations this month, and then now I'm seeing that we are getting 4 F-150 allocations, which maybe that means parts are coming in a little faster than they thought they would, and so maybe we're seeing some allocations for that reason. We don't have any previewing this week, so it maybe be another week, but there might be some dealers that are getting some. Super Duty is supposed to be scheduling. We received 15 last week, so we have 0 allocations left for Super Duty. We don't have anything going there. And then Transit is also scheduling this week, and we don't have any allocations for that for some reason. So, and then talking about the Lincoln lineup, we do have the Corsair. So I got to flip this over. The Corsair is scheduling this week. It does say limited retail scheduling, so not too many. We have 7 allocations for Corsair. Here we go. And we have 0 previewing right now, so it doesn't look like we're going to get any of those allocations fulfilled this week. Nautilus, we have 2 allocations. That's scheduling this week. We also have 0 Aviators allocations, but they are going to be scheduling Aviator and then also Navigator scheduling, and does say retail scheduling only. By the way, usually those model lines will go align with the other ones at that same plant. So Navigator, Expedition, they usually go hand in hand. If Expedition schedules, so will the Navigator. Again, just like Expedition, they're limited retail scheduling, or retail scheduling only for those 2 model lineups. So we don't have any Navigator allocations in there right now. So there you go. All right, so let me go through some scheduling notes. This is where I want to talk about some things that are going to get changed. Last week we kind of talked about some things that are going to happen to the Explorer. It was a news release by Ford Authority. Now we have some news, and they actually broke that from information while I was on vacation that I didn't see while I was gone. But there's going to be several things in here that Ford is going to tell you, and they're starting to add some opcodes to be able to get some of these things ordered. So we're seeing more and more vehicles going to be starting to roll out without certain features and items on them. So starting with the Bronco Sport Badlands, actually I've mentioned this for several weeks now, that premium Badlands with the premium package will take longer to schedule. I have a customer just left him a message today that he has one of those with that premium package and the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package. Both of those are kind of limiting, and that's why his isn't scheduling. The Edge orders with Adaptive Cruise will take longer to schedule, and so some of those come standard with the Adaptive Cruise. It's part of that Copilot 360 Assist Plus package, but just so Edge order holders know that. The Explorers will be produced already starting. It started the beginning of the month. Explorers will be produced without the second row climate controls. It'll have the climate control in the back, and if it has the heated seats, it'll have the heated seats hardware and everything in there, and you can control the climate from the front for the rear, but you will not have the controls behind the console. It'll have a different configuration that's covering those where the climate control would be. Same way if it has second row heated seat controls, they're gonna get credited $50 if it has just the rear climate, $100 if it has heated seats as well. And those features will be restored later in the future. They're saying 6 to 9 months after delivery that those will be given to the dealer them, and then the dealer can put a new cover on the back of there. So there's more of this here that I need to talk about, but just keep that in mind. The other one, Expedition with the multi-contoured seats. So that would be interior code SA, SV, or SH will not be scheduled or not be selected for scheduling, and that's on the Platinum Edition. So if you have that, if you want it selected to be scheduled, you will need to select the multi-contour seat delete option, which is RA, RV, or RH once it's available, it says. So again, we're seeing this with more and more things because of the chip shortage and such. They're going to start giving us some options for people to be able to take those off if they want to get scheduled. If that's just one option that's holding them up from being scheduled, so they're giving that option. So let's talk about the F-150. There's about 3 things I want to talk about here. One of them, it says F-150 Copilot 360 Assist 2.0, which is for option 43B, is restricted on stock orders where it is optional. They are not scheduling any stock orders with the Copilot 360 Assist 2.0. Retail orders will be eligible for scheduling with the Copilot 360 Assist 2.0, but need to order 360 camera package and tow package or the Max Trailer tow package. If you order the Copilot 360 Assist 2.0 package with the Tow Tech package, it will not be eligible for scheduling. So because the Tow Tech is now balanced out, so that Tow Tech package is pretty much closed out. So you can't really order one. We have one order today that we were talking about that and having him switch that. But the bad thing is that if you have the Tow Tech package with that 2.0, the Copilot 360 Assist 2.0 package, the Tow Tech's only $880. Well, now if he wants those same features, he has to go Tow package, add the 360. Now it's $1,000 more. So that's kind of bad. So basically, he's got to pay an extra $1,000 to get the same features he was going to get just because of this issue with the balance out for the Tow Tech package, which doesn't really make sense because everything that's on the tow package is in the Tow Tech package minus the Copilot 360 or the camera. So I don't understand. I think there's one feature that's in the Tow Tech that's not in the tow package. I think the reverse guidance, and that's about it. So I don't know. Maybe that's the one feature. But also, there is going to be an option for the F-150 if you have an XLT with the 302A package or equipment group, or a Lariat 500A or 501A. You can get option 66H, which gives you the halogen headlights instead of the LED reflector headlamps and the LED fog lights, which are standard on those packages. So you get a $500 credit, and that just allows, if you still want the LEDs, they're saying you can still have it. I think it's going to probably take longer for it to get scheduled if you go that route. So if you don't care about the headlights, you don't care whether or not they're halogen or LEDs, then you can elect to go with the halogens and probably be more likely to be moved up and selected and scheduled if you have that option there. All right. One last thing for the F-150. The F-150 says Ford will amend previously scheduled orders to remove the Active Park Assist 2.0 feature and include orders scheduled to be produced in the months of March and April. So orders amended to include Active Park Assist 2.0 removal 67X on the 502A, 600, and 601, 700, 701, 900, and the 402A, you get a $365 credit. So again, chip shortage are trying to take out some of those options that are going to cause that, and so there's more right there. And then of course the start, stop, delete, we talked about this last week a little bit. So Explorers with the 2.3, Expeditions except the Stealth, Performance, or Platinum, Rangers except for those that have the trimmer package, F-150s with the 2.7 liter 4x4s, as well as the 3.5 liter 4x4s, and all of the 5.0s are going to have the auto start stop removed from their orders. So I have proof of this. I looked up my Windows sticker because it's going to be in production this week, and they have taken off the auto start stop option for us. We got a $50 credit, and that's not a big deal to me. I'm okay with that. I'm indifferent. On my Bronco as well as the Expedition, if it shuts off, it's not a big deal. I let it shut off, and then I just know there's a couple things if I want it to come back on, I can do. If I just turn the steering wheel, then it comes back on. I've figured that out with my Bronco. But some people really don't like the option, so they're okay with that. It's not a big deal to them, but some people do like it. So just so you know, that auto start stop is not something to help save you on fuel. Probably actually takes more fuel to start back up at the stoplight than it did as long as it was not running. But it's more for emissions than it is for fuel economy savings there. Couple things on the Lincoln lineup. We do have the Corsair with the technology package is not available to order on stock. And is recommended to remove on all retail orders for better chances of scheduling. So again, more things with chips they're trying to take off. The Nautilus, a Reserve 202A with the 20-inch wheels and the 21-inch wheels on the 2.0 liter will not be selected for scheduling, and the Nautilus Reserve 200A with the 18-inch wheels on the 2.7 will not be selected for scheduling. So they must have some issues getting those wheels in. So those are a couple things you might point out. Now, speaking of Lincoln, the 23 Aviator order banks are now open, so you can order a 23 Aviator. Order guides are out. Haven't had a chance to look through that order guide for this year, but we'll be trying to get some stuff taken care of on that and get some videos out. So, all right, so a couple things. We got a little bit of time here. There's a couple different articles about the Ford. One of them is called the best fuel. Well, I called it the best fuel size, best full size SUVs for families award by KBB. It could be going to the 22 Ford Expedition. Not surprised by that. I only drive the best. Just kidding. No, anyway, I think I do. But like our Expedition, it's a great family vehicle, great full-size vehicle if you need to put a bunch of people in there or even need to store, carry a bunch of stuff. Then you can fold that third row seat down and it drives great. It's quiet. It's a great vehicle. So KBB is awarding it the best full-size SUV for families award. Also, the Mustang Mach-e is now moved up from a finalist to a top 3 finalist for the 22 World Car of the Year award. So links to both of those articles are down in the description if you want to check those out later. You can do that. So typically right here is where I talk about the is it true, and I think I have enough time to do that, so we'll talk about that. Normally I like to do that 15 minutes in, and I've gone way over that time, but there was a lot of information to talk about on scheduling. So this week, a lot of you got some emails, so go ahead and put a thumbs up in there if you guys received an email from Ford. If you haven't been scheduled yet, you probably received an email that looks a little bit like this. So I got this one here is on one because I have a Maverick on order that I'm actually giving to another customer because we did not get her stuff in on time. So she took over the order that I had in the order banks. And so I got this email. So it says, thank you for placing your 22 Maverick XLT order. While we've been busy working to get your new vehicle into production, we've run into a few delays. Sometimes certain features or options can lengthen the time before a vehicle is scheduled for production. We know there's a lot of anticipation when it comes to getting into a new vehicle, so we'll make sure to keep you updated. Once your vehicle is ready to move into the production schedule, you'll be hearing from us again. So a lot of people have posted some different things on different sites. I know I got about 3 or 4 emails from people that forwarded theirs to me and said, what do I need to take off? Is there something on my order? But if you actually look at that carefully, it's not saying that there's anything that needs to be removed from your order. So that middle paragraph says sometimes certain features or options can lengthen the time before a vehicle is scheduled for production. And so that's just in there. So I think really what happened here was Ford listened to customers. They said, customers are saying, why don't we get more communication from Ford? And so I think this is Ford's way to answer that. So they said, okay, you want more communication, so let's send out this email. So they sent the email out like that. So I think their goal in the future is if somebody hasn't been scheduled for a certain time period, they're going to try to send out an email like that says, especially if your order has something on there that's causing it to be delayed, like a lot of orders are waiting because of the luxury package, right? So we had a lot of June, July orders that are getting overlooked because they have the luxury package and the Copilot 360 package. And so this would be a great email for Ford to be able to send out after it hits a certain time frame. And so this being the first one going out, everybody's getting it. So everybody's kind of, freaking out a little bit because they're like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? What's happened here? So don't need to be alarmed at anything. The same constraints that I've mentioned in many, many weeks. I know Ridgeview, or I know that Johnny has mentioned it as well. Some of the same ones. So those are the constraints that we're looking at here. So there's nothing new that's come out. You don't need to worry about that. I think this is Ford's way of answering your concerns of, hey, why don't you communicate with us? So I think this is their plan to do that. With that, so just to let you know, and then of course it does then say at the bottom, we know there's a lot of anticipation when it comes to getting into a new vehicle, so we'll make sure to keep you updated. So that's their plan. So now the only thing with this is, though, if you're gonna say you're gonna do it, you need to do it. You need to follow through. So just like with us, if we say we're gonna call you every 2 weeks, that salesperson needs to call you every 2 weeks. Otherwise, why promise something you can't deliver on? So, you need to deliver on that. So we'll see how it goes. If this is something that continues for people if they're going to send that out every, couple months, how often they're going to send it out, I don't know. And then the last part of that says, once your vehicle is ready to move into production schedule, you'll be hearing from us again. So it's a notification to you that the next email you'll get will probably be when your vehicle goes into production. So hopefully this continues, and that's how that works. But so don't be alarmed. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to change on your order. Same constraints there, on your orders. So we'll continue to see how that goes. But I know a lot of people are concerned because they thought there's something need to be changed, and I'm like, no, nothing needs to be changed. That's just Ford's way of communicating to you that we know it's been a while, but we do have your order. You don't have to be worried about that, and we'll be giving you another email once yours goes into production. So that's basically, it's them notifying you, and it's kind of alarming because we've seen nothing for 6-9 months for a lot of you Maverick customers, and then all of a sudden 9 months later we get this email that says this. It can be concerning. I get that, but again, if they're just starting a process, they want to start delivering. So hopefully this is just the beginning for Ford of communicating so that customers are getting notified, because dealers don't always notify their customers and let them know. So we have it in our system now. Once you order a vehicle with us, we have a CRM, which is a customer relationship management system, that once you get scheduled or once you order a vehicle, then automatically we have an activity that pops in for the salesperson to contact and keep our customers updated. So anyway, so that's how that's going to work for Ford, because dealers aren't doing that. So all right, got about a minute left, so I am actually going to answer a question right here from the Maverick Truck Club. Somebody had posted and tagged me on. It says, if my dealer has 120 orders ahead of me, just using that as an example, I have no idea how many they are actually ahead of me, and say they get 5 allocations a month, I won't get my vehicle for years. What am I not understanding here? So allocations can come and go, up and down. You've seen it with ours. They go up and down based on certain things they're looking at. And Ford is looking in general within that region of all the orders. And they are kind of looking at, okay, well, this dealership might have 10 orders from June, whereas this dealership might only have 1. or this dealership might not have any, but they have a bunch of July. So they may have like 120 orders, but maybe they don't have any June orders. Well, then they may not get any allocations this month, whereas one dealership might get 20 because they have a bunch of orders from June. And that's kind of how that works. So they're going to try to move those down. Dealers, again, I mentioned this in past episodes, will earn allocations based on the orders they have in that time frame. But if there's something on that order that causes that order not get selected, then they'll move down to another one. So like you'll notice with us, we mentioned on a bunch of our Mavericks, we had several that were from September that got scheduled, but we still have June, July, August orders. And why is that? Well, that's because those June, July, August orders that earned us allocations couldn't be scheduled because they have luxury packages on there. And right now, Ford, the factory, is not wanting those because they don't have enough chips or something, but they know they could build a bunch without that. So they want to get those processed through. So then they went down and we had some September orders. So, so just that's how that's going to work there. All right, so let's talk about this week. I wanted to talk about tonight's topic is how will Ford Blue and the Ford Model E be, how will that affect dealers? We talked about this a couple weeks ago about the division there, and they're separating. And we learned a little bit of information recently at the NADA dealer meeting. So I wanted to kind of share some of the things that Ford had talked to the dealers about to kind of keep them updated on things. Now, one of them is now for those of you who don't know, we kind of mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but the Ford Blue is going to focus in on those ICE, the internal combustion engine vehicles, your Bronco, basically anything that's not all electric, is going to be focused in with this branch or this business or division, I should say. Lifestyle brands, they're going to work on quality and that kind of thing on, putting these vehicles together. So they're be able to basically just focus 100% just on that and not on advancing other, electric vehicles. That's what the Model E is going to be for. So, but this also means that they're going to sell more in 3 years, means selling more in 3 years than they are right now. So they're going to invest even bigger into the internal combustion engine vehicles because other manufacturers are going to go all electric. I don't know if you've seen that, but GM's talking about that. I think they said by 2030 they're going to be all electric and they're not going to have any ICE. There's some other manufacturers that are going all electric as well. Well, there's still a lot of people, and they even figure there's still only about 30% of the people that are willing to look at an electric vehicle. So there's still 70% of the population that want an ICE vehicle. They want an internal combustion vehicle. They want to be able to put gas in. They want to have that reliability and such. And so they're not interested in an electric vehicle. Well, where are those people going to go? If GM goes all electric, they're not going to have internal combustion vehicles to sell to their customers. So Ford's smart in dividing these up and saying we're going to still make just as many ICE vehicles as we were in the next 3 years than we are right now. We're going to continue to provide those types of vehicles to the customers because there's at least 50% in the future years down the road. Even they think 50% of the buyers are going to be able to go electric. Even at 50%, if nobody else has any, Ford will be making them, and that'll be more profitable for them that way. Now the Model E branch or business, whatever it's called, is going to be for breakthrough vehicles. This is emerging technologies, faster operating speed, getting these electrified vehicles out there quickly, producing them faster than hopefully Tesla does and such, because they know something about the production line and how to produce these vehicles quicker instead of going that way. I know a lot of people are upset because they're not building these in order. Whoa, I got something tripping out over there. There we go. Notice my screen tripped out there for a little bit. Sorry, but. So they know how to produce these. So they know that, like right now, they may not be able to pull a bunch of these others because of all the equipment that's on it, but they can keep producing vehicles. So instead of that line just staying there waiting for parts the next week and having to close down for the day because they don't have parts that day for this particular one, but they have parts for the lower ones, well, let's get those through and we can produce vehicles faster. And Ford knows what they're doing. It might be a headache for owners to not go in order, but there's a reason and a purpose behind that. Now, let's another thing they talked about was that it means that every vehicle will get sold through a dealership. So all EV vehicles will still be delivered by a dealership. So Ford will not sell direct to the consumer. So, we can use Tesla as an example. Tesla, made many meaningful, changes to the industry with a higher score at purchase with consumers, like upfront pricing and transparency and getting those delivered right to the customer. But where Tesla does suffer is in the after sale. So after the sale, when they're having issues getting a vehicle serviced, we had one. We had a customer that purchased a used Tesla, and it sat here at the dealership until Tesla could bring somebody from another area over to service the vehicle and get it back running again. So they couldn't go right to a dealership to get it serviced. Whereas the electrified vehicles for Ford, they're going to be able to go to the EV dealers, to the Ford Model E dealers, and get their vehicles serviced. So that will help our consumer, scores and such. And that one of the things that the reason the Mach-e knocked off the Tesla for Consumer Reports was because of that same reason, was because of the after the sale, because the quality was there. A year later, the vehicle was in good working condition and such, and that they could get it fixed right away by going to a Ford dealer instead of having to go have it sit and wait for someone to come and service their vehicle. So it's a model. Now what they are going to be doing, they says that they're going to develop over the next 60 days. They're going to focus on experience for that. So they're going to have new EV standards. Dealers will need to decide to opt in by August of this year to take effect January 1 of 2024. So right now, the current agreement for an EV dealer goes through the end of 2023. So that's when that agreement runs out. And then dealers will need to decide if they want to be a Ford Model E dealer, then they have to sign a new agreement. And it'll take effect January 1st of 24 to be a dealer. I think this is a good move, mainly because I work at a Ford dealer and want to see that. But I mean, if you have something wrong with your Ford vehicle now, you go to a Ford dealer. You go to the service department, especially if it's under warranty, right? And you get it fixed there, and they can take care of it, and they get the parts out, quickly and such. And same way with the electrified vehicles is you go into an EV dealer, then that'll help get those fixed. So anyway, so that's some of the information I want to talk about the Blue versus the Model E and how it will affect dealers. So dealers will need to, one of the things, that we'll find out in the next 60 days exactly what it entails, but I think it's going to entail that you have to adhere to the pricing, no markup on those electrified vehicles. Online experience, delivering to the dealership, having a great experience, a great delivery experience for the customer when that vehicle gets there, and that kind of thing. So I think they're going to have certain standards, and one of them being transparency pricing and not marking the vehicles up and such like that. So I think we're okay with that. We're doing that already on all of our ordered vehicles, so that's nothing new. So we're all in on that, and we will be a Ford Model E dealer, no doubt about it right now. So, all right. So there was one other question I want to talk about, and then I'll get into your guys' Q&As here. I think he's in the group here tonight. So Vols, you had a couple questions you put in the Maverick Truck Club for us. Some is it trues. So you said, is it true future emails of this kind will be, and I think this was on the post about the email, thing of the past because Ford will revamp 23 Maverick ordering system. I don't think the ordering system is going to get revamped. Just was revamped recently with the new system that we have. I think the communication, hopefully they'll get better communication with their email systems and setup. Like I mentioned, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I had mentioned that, why Ford couldn't, know that, hey, if their order is in there and not selected after, 1 month after they do scheduling, why an email can't go out, that says yours hasn't been selected yet and that kind of thing. And then moving on. So I don't think that'll change much. Okay, the other one is it true Ford will duplicate the lightning steps of reservations, send emails to convert reservations to orders and waves and loosen its allocation system? So 22 orders will go to the front of the line in the original order date sequence. For the lightnings, they will continue to be like that. They will continue to be that same way. Actually, the reservations are already in there. So on the lightnings, of course, all the reservations that are in there, they're still in their timeline. their time frame there, and then they're going to get wave invites based on those timelines. It worked on the 22 model ones. It did. We did get those in order. Our first 3 were the first 3 invites that were sent out, so they were in order. So they're going to continue to go in that order and getting those sent out. Now they will not do that the other models. That I think they're going to continue to keep like the reservation type process to new model launches like the Maverick, like the Bronco, Bronco Sport. But other than that, it's going to be only your electrified vehicles that are going to get reservations. Flip that over to an order completely online. And the dealer accepts that order, and then it's going to go in that same fashion. So so I think that'll continue that way. Is it true 23 model year Mavericks will have no sale provision besides the current no sale in the first 6 months for X Plan purchases? Now, I didn't realize that on X Plan, but I know on my D Plan, if I get a D Plan pricing, I have to keep that vehicle for 6 months. So maybe X Plan has that same requirement as well. That'll probably continue. That's just been a planned pricing, because if you get a lower pricing, you get a special pricing. They don't want you to turn around and then sell it and then make money on it and use their special plan pricing to benefit you, and that's the whole point behind that. So that'll probably continue, but other than that, if it works for any model, not just Maverick though. Is it true that Ford will continue to punish dealers who mark up retail orders or charge customers extra to bump them up to a reservation order list? Well, as mentioned, they will probably not allow dealers to sign up for the new Model E unless they're willing to adhere to the pricing guidelines that they have. So they will probably not allow them to be able to be an Model E dealer unless they adhere to that pricing. So that's probably how that's going to work. But all other vehicles other than those, and again, that I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, where the email where he had said that he knew which dealers were marking up, it was only in reference to the Lightning, wasn't in reference to other vehicles. So especially on ordered vehicles, I know their dealers can still mark up and such. And I'm hearing some horror stories about dealers that say they're going to honor one price and then still mark it up, which I think is wrong. And I think those dealers should get penalized for doing something like that. If you have a buyer's order that's signed and then you go ahead and you then mark it up when it comes in, I think there should be some penalty for you if you do that. And then, is it true McArthur will install bed accessories and include any labor cost? Now, on any bed covers, we will, of course, go ahead and cover the cost of the install on that. So right now we notice the prices on the bed covers went up a little bit. I mentioned that last week, the week before. And so it's going to go up. They went up about $60. And so we will do free install on those bed covers if you ordered it with us. The other items, if it has to go through our service department, we can't cover those, but we can do the free install on the bed covers. And you just, if that doesn't work for you, you just mention my name and it'll get taken care of. So, all right. Questions. JR Rome has one in here. If an order is canceled, can that order be resumed or not? Order gets canceled, can it be resumed or not? I think maybe it's what you're saying. So if somebody has an order in and they cancel that order, we can, dealers, it's really up to the dealers. Because once you submit that order and you put it in, got everything in there, and that order's in there for Ford, technically at that point the dealership owns that order. It's their order. It's their vehicle when it comes in and such. Of course, there's a deal that they make with the customer that they're going to sell it to that customer and such, and that's the way it should be done. So if the customer decides they don't want it before it gets scheduled, it's up to the dealership whether they want to cancel that or not. So just it really depends on the dealership what they want to do. Probably most situations for us, we may not cancel that order. Just depends. I mean, if it's already been scheduled, what we could do too is, if we've had some situations where we've had people that have an order in and it hasn't been scheduled yet, hasn't waited, and we received one. What we've been trying to do is a lot of our sales guys have been trying to work with their current customers that are waiting to get theirs scheduled and say, hey, I got one in. I know it's missing some things of what yours has on it, but do you want it? And offer it to them. And if they want to get it, then they'll let us sell their order. But then we can also then allow it to be available for other people maybe that didn't get an order in, to be able to take that order. And it's not supposed to be done that way necessarily. We probably should cancel that order. especially right now when there's so many people that didn't get a chance to put an order in. Why not cancel it? Instead, we could just amend that order. If it's the same trim, then it wouldn't affect it. Then we can always, do that and allow that customer to have it. So William said, sorry, I'm late. Did you already say if the earthquake in Japan was going to affect our Mavericks? I don't know, to be honest. I know they're continuing to schedule and they're continuing to produce vehicles and build them. So I'm not sure how it's going to affect that. I wasn't planning to talk about that. I did not get a lot of insight on that and how it's affected. Ford hasn't communicated anything to us, I should say, but they're not always the fastest at communicating that to us anyway. All right. Dustin said, if the Bronco Sport line is caught up, why are retail orders still taking 2+ months to schedule? Bronco Sport line, I don't think is caught up completely. So we, let me go back to this. We do have some Bronco. The biggest thing on Bronco Sport right now are people that want the Badlands with the premium packages and such because of the constraints and the chips and such that they need for those. And that's why some of those packages aren't getting scheduled. I think for the most part, let me go to our orders. I can tell you, because we got a lot of little marks buyers saying that, not available because of those packages. So a lot of these ones that, here, let me take out the ones that. Let me just look at the unscheduled orders. So we have 10 unscheduled Bronco Sport orders, which really isn't that many, to be honest. We usually get quite a few. But if you look at them, 2 Big Bends, 2 Outer Banks, and the other 6 are Badlands. And if you look at these 6, a lot of them have this little NSP over here. And if you go through, a lot of them, it's because they have that premium package or moonroof in this case on this one. Also moonroof, tow package needs to be taken off. Some of those things like that. So if the customer wants it built that way, they just have to wait longer to get those because of the constraint on those. So it's not that they're that far behind. It's just that on some of them, depends on what they're looking at. Like these 2 Big Bends and the Outer Banks. In fact, the one that's previewing for us this month is a Big Bend. So we'll be down to 1 Big Bend, 2 Outer Banks, and probably next month we'll probably get those other ones get scheduled, and we'll just be waiting on the Badlands. Again, we usually can get like maybe 1 a month Badlands scheduled. We have one here for our general sales manager that he's had on order since November 29th, and it hasn't been scheduled yet. But it is a Badlands. He wants it the certain way. He's got the premium package, a Copilot 360 Assist, and he knows it's constrained, a moonroof as well, but he's leaving it in there, and eventually it'll get scheduled. So, all right. So Anthony said, any news on when order banks will open again for Bronco and Lightning? Any dealer prioritizations? Not sure on Bronco. Probably after this model year is produced, so probably similar to timeline for the Maverick, I would think. So usually when they close out for model year, then because they're closed out for that year, then they'll open it back up when they open it up, like the Maverick. So I'd assume probably this fall sometime when they're ready to go there. And then on the Lightning, it's going to be this summer is when they're going to start sending more invites out for people with reservations. Now, when will they open reservations back up for Lightning? Probably going to be a little while. I would say maybe in the winter. Just depends on how many they can schedule and get produced. Depends on how many people canceled the reservations and such, but it might be a little while on the Lightning before you can reserve another Lightning. Jack asked, Tim, when again do the order banks open for the 23 Maverick? It'll be August. Right now, the date they're giving us is August 16th, I think. And that was a tentative date, and they haven't updated that or changed that. I like to keep that here. Yep, August 16th is when they're saying order bank will be open, and that's usually the date that we get the order guides. So a lot of times we can't always have a lot of chance to look over the order guides that much. But of course, when the order guides are out, I'll be doing my videos on those like I did for the 22 Maverick. Roy said, Tim, do you think Ford will publish a constraint list before the 23 Mavericks can be ordered to we pick quickest packages? Probably not, because if I'm at the beginning, what they'll probably do is try to eliminate any of that constraints and such by making some packages different. Hopefully, I didn't talk about it today, but I read in an article that the Super Duty is going to take off they're going to have a spray and bed liner delete on the Super Duty Lariat Black appearance package. So I don't know why they won't do that for the Maverick, but my other reason maybe they're not doing it is because it's not the spray and bed liner that's delaying the luxury package. I think it's probably because of chips, and it takes more chips because of the heated seats, the heated mirrors, the bed lights. All that takes probably more microchips than the non-luxury packages, and that's probably what's holding up those luxury packages, not the spray and bed liner. And probably the reason the optional spray and bed liner is a delay is because they want to give all the spray and bed liners to people with the luxury package. And that's my feeling on it, and that's my gut, and there's no proof that I have of that. But anyway. Steven said, Tim, I received an email from Ford indicating my Bronco was just starting build. Can you check the status? M44L. I can. Let me get the vehicle visibility up. Well, that's coming up. Log in. I will tell you, I think they closed down the plant for a while. That might have been part of it. I know Expedition plant was closed down for a month, and I think Bronco and F-150 was closed down as well. All right, on a Bronco. Not sure if that's yours. Is that yours? Hold on, I gotta scroll up here. Yours actually says produce, waiting on a microchip. So that's what it's saying right now, with a estimated delivery date May 1st to the 7th, but it really just depends on when the microchip's available. So there you go. All right, Super Dave said, my F-150 originally was ordered with the tow tech. Does that restriction mentioned earlier affect only future orders or also orders that have been scheduled? Okay, we do have some that are scheduled, but I think if you got it in before a certain date, then you got it in before the balance out. We had one order that went from one trim because we had messed up. I went from one trim to another. Once that trim was selected, that's when we got the balance out error, and he had to switch away from that tow tech package. So if you have your order in, and you might check if it's with us, I can look it up. If it's with us, then it's probably, I don't know if it's the one that we had, but that one, I think that was the only one that we had that was restricted that way. So it'll actually give us a little flag on that and let us know. So. All right, Vols said, thank you for your replies from the Maverick Truck Club. Just wanted to spur interest in the evening's live stream. I appreciate it. So I appreciate you going in and tagging me and keep me updated, because I don't always have time to go in there and look at all the posts and such and read the posts. So I appreciate you tagging me and kind of keep me up to date on some of that talk that's going on there. Is it true that all scheduled 21 model year Broncos will be ready for shipment by March 31st? Okay, I want to clarify this because I actually didn't read the title of the possible email that's supposed to be going out. Okay, so what they're talking about is all the 21 Broncos that were scheduled as 21s and were being built as 21. So we're talking about the ones that were actually scheduled back before they switched over to 22. That are actually 21s, and they're sitting in Michigan right now. Those are the ones they're saying they're getting out by the end of March, not the ones that were original 21 builds that are now flipped to 22. So if you have a 21 VIN number, they're saying they're going to get those out by the end of March. So that's what I heard. All right, Steven said, I just wanted to reiterate how impressive I was with the delivery of my second Maverick. You did a remarkable job. Thank you and all involved. I'm glad we could process it. I think that shipping was picked up a lot quicker than sometimes it happens. So I think we got at a good time and happened to have somebody available to ship it to you a little bit quicker than we did last time. So that's good. All right, Mark asked, have you heard anything from Ford about the expected impact on chips resulting from the recent earthquake? I have not heard anything about that. So, yeah, I'm not sure if a lot of times Ford doesn't, want to communicate negativity and such, so they don't always let us know if it's going to affect it. Just tell us that it's being delayed. And sometimes, if anything, it'll be probably a press release by like Jim Farley or somebody like that. And at some point, if we hear anything, it won't be directly probably from, um, to the Ford dealers themselves. All right. So Marcus said, "I hope you had a good vacation time," and we did. Pretty relaxing, even though we did a lot of driving. We thought instead of spending $1,000 to fly someplace, is what our thought was, let's just drive down. It'll cost a lot less for gas, and then we could stop at a couple places on the way down. So what we did was we went down to the hill country down in Texas, went to Fredericksburg, if you guys have been there, but there's tons of wineries all around there, and it's really cool to see. Definitely going to go down in the summer when there's, when the peach season's going, because they have a lot of peach orchards down there and such. And so we'll probably make a trip down there, but we kind of wanted to go someplace warm to where we could just go and see a nice little local town and shop to some of the little local shops and everything. And there's a bunch of great little local shops there, and it was a lot of fun. So they had spring break as well, so it was a little busy, but it was still a lot of fun, and we were able to go without a mask the whole time, which is even more fun. So we didn't have to wear a mask on any kind of plane or anything. We just drove down there. None of the places on the way down or while we were down there or any of the places required face or mask. So that was also nice to be able to be out in the nice weather and everything. And we had 2 great places that we ate. Actually, three or four great places we ate while we were there, and it was a lot of fun. Enough of that. Do you think Ford can fulfill all the 21 orders in 22? You probably mean the 22 orders this year. And according to what they're saying is that if it wasn't a constraint with the luxury packages and the Copilot 360s, then yes, they could. So if enough people switch those over, then they definitely probably could. So, if you have a later order and you have those packages on there, you just need to know that you might get pushed to 23. But I still think there are going to be some orders getting pushed to 23 because of that reason, because there are people that are like, especially I noticed on the Maverick, there are a lot of people that it's maybe their first new vehicle, or it's a first new vehicle in a long time, and so they kind of want to order it the way they want it. That's what's fun about doing a custom order like this, is that you get to hand pick every little thing you want, your color you want, and everything else. So you're like, well, now that I got my order in, I want it that way. I'll wait. There are some people though that are in really need of getting a vehicle. Theirs is not doing well, and they need their vehicle. So you have those people that will say, go ahead and take it off because I really need a vehicle. So I talked to a lady today, in fact, that the dealership actually ordered their vehicle without the luxury package when she wanted it, and it came in without the luxury package. And like for her, that's a bad situation because you wanted the luxury package, you ordered it, you were expecting it. That's what you thought it was going to come in. It was overlooked by the dealer, wasn't put on the order. And the order sheet was submitted, and there's miscommunication of the $3,000 pack, $3,300 package, and I feel really bad for her. But at this case, there's not much you can do, because it's either you take it, or the only way they can make it right is to order another one. But you can't order one right now, so they'd have to wait till 23. So I just suggested maybe they could throw in something, for her to kind of make up a few things, and see if they'll do that for her. So hopefully, I wished her the best, but bad situation. All right, Sandy said, my Maverick order is RO82. Can you tell if it's still scheduled to be built? I actually can't look up an order unless it's with us. So that number doesn't look like it's one of our numbers. So we actually... the first and last letters usually are the first and last letters of the salesperson, except for Bill Rogge, which he just uses B on his orders. But yeah, so I can't look up yours unless that 2 is supposed to be something else. That doesn't look like an order number that we have, so I wouldn't be able to look it up. I can only look up orders that are with Long McArthur. So if you have yours with us, then maybe that number might be incorrect. Maybe the 2 is something else. Maybe so. All right. JR said, thank you, and okay. All right. All right. Clarence said, why don't they do the MAVs, install the mechanicals but without the chips, and produce them quicker with chips coming later? Actually, that's going to happen. So that will probably happen. We've already been informed. Basically, they said that the dealers can sign up and for that to be able to get vehicles shipped, not having all the chips in them, especially like those for the luxury package that need extra chips just to work the heated seats and the heated mirrors and that kind of thing. But the functionally the vehicle will work just fine, and then the chips get sent to the dealership and the dealer installs them at their local dealer later, kind of like a recall. Basically, so a dealer can either sign up for that or not. Here's the deal though, if a dealer doesn't sign up, they won't get any allocations. So the dealers are going to sign up for it. So it's in the future. It's probably going to happen here before we know it. So that's just a future possibility there. So again, they let a lot of the dealers know that. So, all right. So, all right, so we have any news on issues with catalytic converters on hybrid Mavericks. I do know that it's a software glitch, a software issue, because it was someone that let me know. I didn't find it out myself, but someone else let me know that it's a software glitch because it happened on the Escape hybrids as well, and so they know that that's a known issue, but they can go in and get a software update. The dealer can, I believe, and they can fix that. So a lot of the issues that Ford they've had with the Maverick, a lot of them are like little recalls that can be fixed and at the dealerships and such. So whether it be with those the spray and liners and such, which was only like 5,000 vehicles that was affected, and that kind of thing, those can all be taken care of. So, all right. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I did see some information there. So yeah, Patricia, if you tag on Maverick Truck Club, I'm a Ford Video Guy. So just at Ford Video Guy, and it'll tag me, and then also on also I think Ford Video Guy is what I'm on any of the subreddits too. I'm on the subreddit there. So all right, all right. Okay, so Deb says, does the person that orders the vehicle have have a say in getting their vehicle without chips, or does the dealer just say yes or no? It's actually not even the dealer; it's the manufacturer. I think it's Ford that decides that. So yeah, I don't think we have any say in it, and you as a customer, I don't think even has say in it. I think it's Ford in general, but. So I guess we'll learn a little more when it gets closer to that, going into effect and such. But all right, do you have any? Do you have any Bronco Raptor orders that have scheduled? No, we don't. Not yet. We have some Bronco Raptor orders, but they're not scheduling right now, so they haven't scheduled since we could flip those orders, the current orders, over to Bronco Raptor orders. So they haven't scheduled since then. So. Yep. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Good questions there. So appreciate that. But I'm sure we're not done, right? You got more questions for me. All right. Yep. I think I had some things that I wanted to mention, but I already mentioned all those. So I went through all that. Oh, I do have something. So if you guys are on the stream here, I do have something. If you guys are interested in a Maverick, if you're wanting to, we have two available that two customers did not take just recently. Both EcoBoosts that are available. And of course, I can do our special deal to anybody that mentions that here. So I do have a couple available for sale. So if you guys are interested in those, they're both 2.0 front-wheel drive Mavericks. And so let me pop these on the screen here real quick. So we have this first one. That one's, I don't know if you can see that. That looks small on my screen. Let me enlarge this. There you go. Well, maybe you can see it. I'm going to read through it anyway. So, okay, so that first one there is a Lariat trim, or no, that's an XLT trim. Okay, XLT 2.0 EcoBoost, of course, does have the XLT luxury package on it, and it does have the manual slide rear window. Also does have the full-size spare and the floor liners in it, and the bed lighting as well. And it's an Area 51, so that is available. You can see the sticker price there is $28,085. So 2,500 over for anybody that wants to contact me at that email address, of course, timothybartz@gmail. So you're going to be looking at $30,585. So there you go. That's going to be available. And then also we have this other one here that's available. That is a Lariat front-wheel drive 2.0 EcoBoost with nothing added. That's the cheapest Lariat EcoBoost you're going to find. Again, 2,500 over. That's a sticker of 20. Oh, and it's in Velocity Blue, by the way. And it's 28,440 for that sticker price. And so again, 2,500 over there. So you're going to be 30,940. Look right. So just let me know if you guys just email those over if you want information on those, and I can help you out. Again, anybody that mentions that on any of mine, I can get $2,500 off of the online price on any of those. So those one of them's already on the website. You know, we're doing $5,000 over on those, so you can do it $2,500 if you guys are interested in those. So I want to throw those out there. So all right. So Zachary said one of those guys wanting luxury package with October 25th order. Okay, waiting till 23. Found out all MAV orders are priority 10 in early August. May ask to move priority 19, add moonroof. Must be misunderstanding something here. So one of those guys wanting luxury package with October 25th order price. Okay, or waiting till 23. Found out my all MAV orders are priority 10 in early August. May asked to move priority 19, add moonroof. Not sure exactly what you're asking there, but right now, I mean, they're they're scheduling them, and that priority code is given by the dealer. Other than anything below 10, that region does that. But that priority code changing from 10 to 19, that's up to the dealer. The dealer would make those changes. All right, so Donald said, Tim, so how do you think getting the chips will work when you order out of state? Probably, probably what'll happen is you'll go to the nearest dealer, and it's like going to be like a recall where, that dealer, the dealership, you take that Maverick there, and they're going to put the chip in for you. So what we do is we would send that chip. If you order from us but you're out of state, we would send that to your nearest Ford dealer so that they could put it in your vehicle for you. So that's probably how that will work. Okay. How many first edition hybrids do you still have on order? Unscheduled, I assume, is what you're talking about there. I don't know. Not that many, I don't think. I think we're down to 4. So, and most of those are like from September or October. We actually had one person that was purposely wanting theirs to hold off because they wanted it to come in later, like the summer. And so they actually had put something on their order to make sure it wouldn't, like a constraint item, so that it wouldn't get selected. And it was also like from September. So, I mean, it wasn't going to get selected probably anyway because of that. But so that was, so we just made a change to theirs, so maybe they can get scheduled soon. But let me look here. Let's go to all unscheduled. There's an easy way to find all the first editions. So if I go over here to the paint, I pick the secondary color as the black, and I take out all but Area 51, carbonized gray, and rapid red. That will narrow us down. There we go. Oh, it's not showing me. So it gives me 87 orders. I guess I'd have to go through, look at them. I'm not actually able to see. I can't see the second color code there on that, but of course they'd all be lariats. So I'll just go pick out all the others. Well, we're down to 14 lariats with those 3 colors. And they'd all have to have a certain package, but I'm not sure. But I know last I knew we were down to 4 first editions not scheduled, and I can't actually see these colors. But I know we have at least 1 in there. So anyway. All right, so Steven said, Tim, I just wanted to mention how spirited that sport mode is on the Maverick. Yeah, sport mode's really cool. I mean, it's amazing what kind of difference it makes and how it shifts and everything. All right, Mark said, I've seen a few posts suggesting the factory 12-volt batteries aren't great, unexpectedly going into deep sleep or completely dead. Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything about that, so... factory 12-volt batteries. I haven't heard that. I have to look into that. Diamond asked also how many full-size Broncos orders outstanding at McArthur. Oh, that's a good question too. We just need unscheduled. All right, looks like we have 92 orders. But a lot of those, of course, based on the timeline, were ones put in this year. They're not ones that were rolled over from 21. So from the original people, I think we're down to like 25 or 30, if I remember right. So probably, actually, that's probably close. I think we were at 50 to start the year, so probably down to 25 to 30, I think, left. So. All right, so complex question on your email. Let me know what your thoughts are when you can. Okay, yep, I'll look that up, Daniel. All right, did I miss any questions up here earlier? Dale, I got your question. Donald, Tim, so how do you think getting the chips will work? Okay, I mentioned that, talked about that. And then Zachary, yep. Try to make sure I get everybody's questions if I can. I don't want to miss anybody there. All right. Anybody else? It's good seeing a couple people in here that I know just received their Mavericks and are still in here. So I know Patricia just got hers, and I think June in Vermont got hers recently, and I think the dealer honored everything on both those orders for you guys. So that was good to see and good to hear about. So, and good to see you in here still, even with that. So you have to tell us some stuff. All right, Zachary said, I wanted to add a moonroof, not lose pre-December 27th price benefits and pay the higher moonroof price with the 23. So push me to the end of the line at dealer while everyone else stays at 10. Okay, so you wanted to add a moonroof. You can add the moonroof now. That won't change your price. Price protection right now, the only thing they've said now, on the Bronco, they had said if you do some changes to a couple things that it would change your price. But on the Maverick, the only jeopardy you have of changing something, and that's only if you change the trim, would move your date. You can add the moonroof to your order right now, and it doesn't change the price. Now I don't know about getting the $795 moonroof price. It may be the $995. But in 23, it's going to be the $995 anyway. So you can make that change now, and that's what I would do if I were you. If you want the moonroof, add the moonroof now. Keep your place in line. Yeah, instead of moving the priority down. But I see what you're wanting to do. If you want to hold off and get a 23, then you can move that priority code down so other people will be ahead of you and selected ahead of you. Now, if they really wanted to move you down and move you to 99, then you know it wouldn't be selected. But yeah, you can add the moonroof. It won't change your price. you should still be locked. Your base, because the moonroof was the only one that I'd wonder if it was going to be $200 more, but at this point it would be anyway. Even if you were 23, it's going to be more expensive. But they should lock you in at the original prices, even on the moonroof, I would assume, than what it was back then. It's really up to the dealership to do, and they're going to get reimbursed because you should be locked in on the original pricing that you had. They're going to look at they're going to look and see what you ordered, and then they're going to look at the date you ordered, and they're going to assume that that was on your order to begin with. Any special live stream pricing for your existing Bronco inventory? I could probably do something. We do have one. I don't know. I have to look it up. I think we do have one or two available. I think we only have one Bronco right now. Actually, our general manager sold his Bronco that looks just like mine, almost like mine. I got a couple other changes that he doesn't have, but he sold his, or we put his up because his he ordered a 22 Bronco because he wanted the eruption green, and so his actually showed up today, and we put his up for sale. It went on online, and it already sold because it was one of the Roush packages. So. Very few Roush package Broncos out there, and it's sold already. But we do have the orange, the cyber orange. Email me at timothybarts@gmail. I'll get you a special price for you. So I'll do what I can. So Zach, they told you that it would be more expensive. I really believe that you're going to be locked in on that $795 price. But I think it's really up to the dealership, because at this point, once you have that price in there from your original order, because they probably don't know what that price was at the beginning, and I have, that information if you need it. But it was $795 originally, and then it's gone up to $995. But they should still honor the rest of the prices. Should still be honored because it is based on your order date that you ordered for the price protection. So it's really up to the dealership to give you that price. I guess if they're going to fight you on it, then it's up to them. But anyway, so Joel, we have one. I think we moved it to the used section because it has miles on it, and that's why we moved it over there. So it's in the used side now. So it was one of our mannequins, so it has some miles on it. So we kind of put it in. We listed it as a used instead of a new. So. It's a two-door cyber orange, I believe, one. Yep. We did. Oh, and actually, we have more than that. We actually we received two. One is a first edition. We got a first edition Bronco that we found at an auction. We got another white Wild Track. We found a couple at the auctions and on the used side. So I forgot about those two. We pictured those on Monday. Sarah wouldn't. There's a reason Sarah's in there because she knows, because she edited the pictures, so she knows that they're in there. So both two doors. It's showing 5 actually. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Outer Banks one. So we have an Outer Banks. Oh, and they added some cool stuff to that one. That one has the drawer in the back. I don't know if we got a good picture of that or not, but also the tailgate table on it. And then we have the Wild Track, the white 2-door on our website, and then the Roush R one is sold. And then we have the Outer Banks Cyber Orange one that was our mannequin. But those other two, the white as well as the blue first edition, we got as used vehicles. So we got those at an auction, I believe. It looks like they have an AU number, so it looks like we got those two at auctions. So, but the Wild Track looks pretty cool. The Wild Track, they painted the rims on the wheels white as well, so it looks pretty cool. But anyway, those are on our website under the used section. Is the Copilot 360 Assist Plus a constraint? Yes. Yep. I know it definitely, we talked about earlier on the F-150 as a major constraint, item, and then on the Bronco Sport, it's a constraint item, and then also on the the edge. We talked about it because of that, it having the adaptive cruise control is part of that, that it's also kind of constricted as well. It'll take longer, I should say, to get it. So an escape on order, but I canceled it. I ordered it with your guys' dealership. Okay, so you ordered an escape and you canceled it. So I don't know if we canceled the order or not. A lot of times we'll go ahead and cancel the order on those, because in that way the other orders can get, can get scheduled, and it doesn't get overlooked by one that would end up becoming a stock vehicle. So that's usually how that works. So, but I'll have to look. So, all right, any other questions? All right, is it typical for Ford to change my build date a few times before starting production? Yep, mine got changed like 4 or 5 times. So in fact, I'm gonna look and see if it's online. Expedition. Yep, mine originally was the original build date was February 14th originally, and then it got moved to the 21st, then the 28th, then it got moved to March, and so yeah. But then they stopped producing any at all for a while. There we go. There's mine. So mine says the 25th. So now they've moved it to Friday. So it's on Friday. So yeah, mine's gonna get made on Friday. So I was able to see my window sticker, so that's a good sign. So that means it's gonna be real. It's gonna get done. So all right. Any other questions there? Don't forget to tag the @Law McArthur. All right, Lee. Didn't spell it correctly, but I found it. I have a $750 auto show voucher that expires 6/16/22. Will Ford extend the voucher if my Maverick doesn't come in by then? Probably not. Yeah. I mean, usually those offers are only good through that time frame. Probably what you can do is call the Ford customer service line if it gets closer to that date, and if yours doesn't look like it's going to come in, and say, I got this voucher, but my vehicle's been on order for this long. Can you guys? And usually a lot of times what they'll do is maybe then, maybe they can do something. That would be my only thinking there. He said, did Ford eliminate the heated seats on the Ranger 302A package? That's a good question. Now, for the beginning of the year, I'm not sure. I can look at the original order guide and tell you. Ranger. XLT 302A comes with heated seats. So it is still in the 302A equipment group. So it looks like it's still in there. They haven't removed it from the original order guide. And I think this is the most recent order guide. So should be good there, Ace. Yeah, it's on the 302A. All right. Steven said, Tim, give me special pricing on a retail 35 Raptor order. Yeah, you mean a Raptor? Yeah, I couldn't get that for you. All right, I have an order MO9J is said shipped yesterday. How long till you receive? Usually takes about 4 weeks. So, and I noticed that lately there's been several that say they've been released, awaiting shipment. So if yours actually says shipped out, that's good. That means usually it should be here within 4 weeks. All right, I have been around since I ordered on 6/14. Dealer wanted to mark me up, and I got Mike L involved. Well, finally, I went into production today. Thanks for everything over the next many months. Oh, awesome. Good to hear. Oh. Has any of your Maverick shipping dates been off? They've been pretty accurate for the most part. We have seen them dates kind of move. So like if they are waiting in some places for a while, sometimes they'll give an updated date. But for the most part, they're pretty accurate from the get-go. But there have been some shipping issues. We've actually seen lately some that have been sitting in a plate, like they'll ship them without the chips and then put the chips in them, like in Kansas City, before they go ahead and deliver them to here. So they might sit in Kansas City for a little bit, but then they might be waiting on one thing. So we've been seeing them actually put chips in them even at the depots in Kansas City and such. So someone that actually had posted, I think, on the Maverick Truck Club that, hey, all these here's a couple I found them in Lansing, Kansas. That's where they're holding the ones that are needing chips and such. And we saw a picture of the ones that were on there, and they were ours. It was really fun to kind of see, on the on Facebook, those ones sitting there. We looked at them, we're like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be getting a White Edge, and that was a Super Duty, and we got 4 Mavericks on there. We'll just see if those are ours. And then like a couple days later, they showed up, and it was our truckload. So it's kind of funny kind of cool to see. And if your Mavericks, all right, Zachary said, thanks, Tim, for the info and helps me clarify my question. We'll first call Ford customer service and ask when they're adding the roof, change my order date, then call sales manager. Yeah, that won't, I can tell you right now, it won't change your order date. They've told us that the only thing that will change your order date is by changing your trim from XLT to XL to Lariat, that kind of thing. And then if you change from hybrid to EcoBoost, those are the 2 things that will change your order, nothing else. So just so you know. Beck said, you have a lot of people on your wait list for Mavericks that might be refused by the people who ordered them. Is it worth it to get on the list? I do have quite a few on my list. Most of the people on my list are wanting a hybrid. Very few want an EcoBoost. So that's what we're seeing right now is that most of the people that aren't taking theirs aren't taking it's usually EcoBoost that's available, not the hybrids. About I think we've had 1 hybrid not taken, and the rest of them they're taking their hybrids. If they're going to wait, there's a reason why they're ordering them. But there's been a lot of the EcoBoost. So if you're willing to get an EcoBoost, it's probably going to be easier for you to find one of those that's not taken than a hybrid. Seems like almost everybody's taking their hybrid. Can an existing order be changed to a different dealer? No. So you cannot change. Once that order is put in with the dealership, in a sense, that's the dealership's order. I have heard situations where they can call Ford customer service and they have gotten some changes done, but otherwise I haven't. So Eddie, thanks for coming in the live stream. Hopefully you got my message today. Eddie's the one that is waiting on his Bronco Sport to get scheduled. That has that premium package on it and it has the moonroof and the Copilot 360 Assist Plus. So hopefully we can get yours scheduled soon. It's in there. Oh man, it just those constraints on some of those things just take a little while. But he is one of those that's in that boat there. But appreciate you coming in the live stream tonight. Suresh said, a Maverick ordered November 23rd, Lariat with all packages. Any idea when to expect? Thanks, Tim. The question would be if it's an EcoBoost or a hybrid. If it's a hybrid, well, no, never mind. Can't be a hybrid. It was ordered November 23rd. Sometimes I got to step back just a second. Okay, so it is an EcoBoost in November. It's really hard for me to give a guesstimation of when it's going to get scheduled, but being that it's an EcoBoost, but with all the packages, that's what's probably going to be the biggest holdup because it has a luxury package and such. But being a November EcoBoost order, though, it should get scheduled pretty soon because most of our EcoBoost orders, the ones we have left, are October, November, December, and after. In fact, I don't think we actually have too many that are still in, even September, October. So, I mean, you have a November EcoBoost order. I mean, you should get scheduled hopefully pretty soon. Hey, Tim, do the Lightnings come with any free public charging? Actually, I did was finding out some information today. I watched what they call the EV Power Hour that Ford puts on, and so I did watch their show, and it all was about charging right now. And they're saying a lot of the people that are ordering like the Mach-E's aren't signing up and putting theirs in the Ford Pass, and they're not signing up with the EV part of that the app. So what they're saying is only 55% are taking advantage of that, because when you go into the FordPass app, you connect yours and go in and make an account. Then because they have a special deal with Electrified America, that you get a special discount on a bunch of free charging for your electrified vehicles. So, and that's probably what you're talking about. So I assume that's going to happen with the Lightnings as well. I think it just happens to be the deal that they have, Electrified America has with Ford for that. So that's the plan. So now I did get a chance this weekend to drive the Mach-E. Love driving it. It drove great. And I just, oh man, the one pedal driving was awesome and everything, and just it's kind of getting me excited about getting that F-150 Lightning. And I've already decided. I think what I want to do is, once that comes in, I want to do a road trip, and I want to do a nice video. I'm going to capture it on video and everything. I'm going to do a big video about it, about driving across and going on a trip, and how easy it is to, with your electrified vehicle, to drive and find your destinations, charging, how long does it take, how inconvenient it is, and that kind of thing, if you're going on a road trip. So I'm on a road trip someplace. Not sure where yet. Maybe to Maine. Maybe I'll come up and see Ridgeview, but I might go on up to Maine. Who knows? But we'll make a road trip of it, and we'll see how easy it is to get through there, and how inconvenient it is, how much longer it might take, and everything. But I'm gonna have some fun once I get it and do something, and we'll document it. We'll vlog it. All right. Fastbuck said, have you received any information from Ford if they will add memory to the Maverick or Ranger Lariat driver's seat in the future? The memory feature. Good question. I don't know, and I actually haven't noticed that it wasn't on the Ranger. Haven't got a lot of Rangers in to do videos on, to be honest. But I think that, I think what they need to do is, I think that the Lariat needs to get power passenger seat and get driver memory added to it. So I'd love to be a part of the dealer council for the Maverick. I think that I've gotten a lot of great ideas from you guys. In fact, my daughter, if she's still in there, she actually had a suggestion on where to put the fit system for like having one on the side of the console on the passenger side, and the footwell over there, so that you can put the little trash can on that side of the vehicle if you want to still have the cup holders in the back. Little things like that they could add, like making the back seat a split bench seat, instead of a full bench seat. Let's do a 60-40 back there, so at least you can access the compartment if you have a child seat back there, which, like Sarah does, she's got a child seat back there, so she can't even access any of the underseat storage. Underseat storage is great if you can get to it, but if you have one car seat, you can't get to any of it. So little things like that I like to be involved in. But yeah, so Lariat, Ranger, you get the power driver's seat, and it's a power passenger seat. But yeah, no memory there. Or at least make it part of the 501A equipment group, right? Nope. Be nice. But they don't usually let us know when they're gonna add features. We'll see it on the order guide. Here's the changes from one year to another. So, all right. So what would be an awesome video for the Lightning? Maybe you could tow my Mav behind. There you go. Could do that. Yep, I do want to. We'll see when the Lightning gets in. Hopefully it's this summer. I haven't gotten scheduled yet, but do want to take a trip this summer up to Maine. It'd be kind of fun to see in the tourist season what it's like and everything. So. All right, Jim, you gotta keep me connected with you when I go to Maine, so I can get connected with you too. So, all right, I'm going to have my first road trip as I pick my Bronco from Kansas. Can't wait. All right, yeah, we actually had someone this week that, in fact, I think he's usually in here, but I think he's on his way back. But he drove up from Florida, so he drove his trade up from Florida, and then drove his Maverick back to Florida, and I think he's in this process of driving back. So. The boys, okay, so yeah, Sarah said to bring the boys with us, but I don't know if I can handle that road trip. Will is free. I don't know if he could sit still for that long. Of course, I mean, whew, that might be hard to road trip with a 2-year-old and a infant there. I don't know about that. So might have to leave you home, Sarah. Tim, let us know when the front passenger seat options start. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that some things that it could have there. Take another road trip, please. Get a better microphone. Yeah, I just used the cell phone on that video. I didn't hook up any mic. I need to figure that out. I actually have a wireless mic that was used to be able to connect with the cell phone without any issues, but I haven't been able to get it to connect correctly. It's still recording from the microphone on the camera, and the camera was on the glass, so it was probably getting a lot of road noise around it because it was on there. So what I'd do next time is not put my cell phone on the windshield, that kind of thing, so that we get a little bit better audio that way. So kind of did the same audio tactic as I do on my member live stream, my member videos when I go out on a lot. So I kind of did that kind of thing then, but yeah, so. All right, so he was in the chat tonight, Tim, the road trip back to Florida. Oh, he was. Okay, cool. All right, so we got another idea here. I'd like to add to that shelf in the console, or at least a fit connector to add a tray or something. Oh, okay, yeah, could see that. Kind of cool. If you buy a Maverick with a basic speaker stereo, it is possible to have the dealer upgrade to an 8-speaker B&O radio later. I don't know if the dealer is probably going to be able to upgrade it. They're not real big into upgrading unless it's a factory upgrade or, something they can do, that way that stays under warranty and such. But, the B&O is part of the Lariat package. Is it Lariat or Lariat Luxury? I don't remember. One of those. Been a little while since I looked at that, but anyway. Does the Fits package come with the Maverick when it's delivered? On the hybrids, yes. So if you ordered a hybrid and you got that email in October, so I think it was anybody that ordered before October 21st received an email giving you that you're going to get the free Fit system when your vehicle comes in. That goes to the dealership. So I actually have a picture. I think it's on my phone actually of the ones that we have, because we have a pretty good system set up, to be honest. Well, I'm always honest, but we have a pretty good system, I think. And let me see here. But here's kind of an image of those. I don't know if you can see that. Here, hold on. Let me pull up my camera so I can actually see what I'm seeing there. So there you go. So there you go. There's all the boxes. Those boxes are all of the Fits boxes of vehicles that are coming in the next, well, we don't know. Those boxes are sent out when the vehicle is shipped out. So when the vehicle gets shipped out, those boxes get sent to the dealer. And we have those, there's actually 23 there, but 3 of those were actually here. So there's about 20 that should be coming in. My assumption is in the next month. So that's pretty cool. So those are the Fits boxes. Sarah actually got an EcoBoost. So what she did is she ordered hers from parts through aftermarket, and it took a while to get in because it was on back order and such. It took a little while for hers to come in, but she got the same package in there too. So, and anyway, all right. Any other questions? 8:38. Used to try to go an hour and a half, but I don't want to leave anybody's questions. Okay. Does the Fits pack? Okay, I already answered that question. Okay. Any other questions for me before I wrap up? Okay, don't forget, if you're not subscribed, hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed over to the channel. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. So that way everybody knows it's a great video. So don't forget to do that. If you're not a member and you can become a member, just hit the join button down below, or down in the description is a link to join. The members and all the people there with the little logos beside their names are members. The colors change based on how long you've been a member. We are, for the longest member, Ridgeview is actually the very first member that joined, and his is blue, as you can see there. So different months of become a member and change colors there. So join and become a member there. Appreciate it. Again, of course, I thank all of you guys for coming in. Whether you're a member or not, you don't need to. We do some fun stuff on different videos. I've been doing some giveaways. So if you are a member, don't forget to that I'll be sending you a video from the farm show tomorrow, letting you know that we're going to be doing a giveaway. So I'll do that. All right. Hold on a second. Suggesting the audio stream bit rate is lower than recommended bit rate. So sounds like my having some issues here with the audio part of this, but hopefully it's coming out okay. But anyway, thanks guys for joining me. Thanks Sarah for jumping in, and Ridgeview again for helping out. I appreciate all of you guys that are chatting with each other in there, and I appreciate coming each week. And again, don't forget, we'll be doing a Facebook Live. If you're on Facebook, you can join me there, do any other Q&A that we didn't get to here on Thursday night at 6 p.m. on our Facebook page. Link to that is down in the description as well. And then be looking for our other videos later this week. So until next week, we'll see you later. Appreciate it, guys. Bye.